Hello everybody, my name is Chloe and today I am here with a brand new video. So I'm still kind of riding the high of 2020 where those last couple of months I just read a ton of books. I'm still in that zone and I'm still reading a lot. So today we're going to talk about all the books I completed and the 2 books that I'm currently reading but will finish before the end of the month. So I'd like to start off by saying that I read so many library books this month. I have a whole vlog about that, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but I read so many library books, so a lot of books I didn't own. So this first book, technically I did finish it in January, but I read the bulk of it in December. That was Crazy Stupid Bromance by Lyssa Kay Adams. This is the 3rd book in the Bromance Book Club series. This one follows Alexis and Noah, who we meet in the book before this one, the 2nd book. This one was so good, but at the same time it feels like it's been forever since I read it. I did read the bulk of it right at the end of December, so it feels like it's been a long time since I read this, and it's been like a month now. I gave this one 5 stars. I'm really looking forward to the next book because it follows the Russian, and I'm so excited to have a book from his perspective. Next, I read Roomies by Christina Lauren. This was one of the books that was featured in my vlog. I did a secret TBR where I read all of my overdue library books, and this was the first one. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm going to direct you guys to the link to the vlog in the description below where I give my full thoughts. I did listen to the audiobook and I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't my favorite Christina Lauren book, but I'm really excited to be reading their backlist. Next, I read Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. I received an ARC in a giveaway from Epic Reads, and I read this the week before it came out. It was released on January 12th. This is a prequel to The Hate U Give, where it follows Star's father, Maverick, when he was 17. This book is amazing. It is so fast-paced, and once I got about 20 pages in, I fell back into the world of The Hate U Give and Garden Heights, and I just fell in love with the world again. This is actually also going to be my book club's pick for February. The BookTube Chicks book club is going to be reading this next month in February, so make sure you join us. I'll leave our live show information in the description below if you want to join us on our discussion. Next, I read Trumpty Dumpty Wanted a Crown, Verses for the Despotic Age by John Lithgow. This is a poetry book. I thought it was very fitting for the first couple weeks of January. And this is another one that I featured in my secret TBR, so check that out in the description below. But I did give it 5 stars. Next, I read Mirror Mirror by Jen Kalanita. This one was kind of a rough ride. I gave it 3.5 stars. It is another one that is featured in that vlog, so check it out in the description below. This was okay, leaning towards good, so I settled for 3.5 stars. I think in my vlog I actually say 3 stars, but that's not accurate. Continuing on in the Twisted Tales series, I read Conceal Don't Feel, also by Jen Kalanita. This one was slightly better. It was also, I think, the shortest out of all of the Twisted Tales books. I gave this one 4 stars following Anna and Elsa, and basically it is what if they never knew each other. Next, I read Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. This is the final one that was featured in my secret TBR vlog, so again, check it out in the description below. Trigger warnings for an emotionally abusive family. I gave this one 3 stars. This is probably the first rom-com that I've ever met that I had like this rough of a time with. I'm sure this book is for somebody, it's just not for me, and I talk about that more in the vlog, so check that out down below. Moving away from my secret TBR vlog, the next one I read is Fangirl Volume 1. This is the manga adaptation of Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is adapted by Sam Maggs. I feel like they're going to do 3 volumes of this, but I feel like this covers like the first third of the book. Really quick to get through. I got through it in maybe an hour, and I'm hoping the next one comes out soon. I really enjoy revisiting the world of Fangirl, but with this new format. Next, I read another poetry book. I can't believe I've read 2 poetry books this year so far when I normally read none. It is I Would Leave Me If I Could, a collection of poetry by Halsey. Another one that I got through really quickly. I don't really know how to rate poetry. There were some poems that I enjoyed and I took pictures of so I could have them to remember. But I don't really know how to rate poetry, so I didn't rate this one. And some of the poems in here are actually bits from songs from her past couple of albums. So I recognized lyrics from Manic, and I recognized lyrics from Hopeless Fountain Kingdom, and it was great. Next, I read something that is definitely going to be on my favorites of 2021, and that is the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez, the second book in the Friend Zone trilogy. This follows Sloane, who we meet in the first book, and oh my god, I listened to the audiobook for this. Let me just tell you guys that there were times where I was like driving in my car, either like to work or from work or wherever, and I was like screaming and had a giant smile on my face. I also made my coworker read this one and the first one, and she loved them as well too. 5 stars. If you haven't checked out the Friend Zone and the Happy Ever After playlist, please do. It is so good. I am obsessed. Next, I read The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. This is fairly recent in their book releases, within the past, I think, year or two. And this one felt different from a Christina Lauren, similar to how Roomies felt different. We're following somebody who works for a power couple of like HGTV home decorators, kind of like Chip and Joanna Gaines on HGTV, kind of like that. This one's probably the shortest one that I've read by them. It was a very quick audiobook, only about 6 hours. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed the romance, but it's not one of my favorites by Christina Lauren, but the romance was good. Next, I picked up another ARC that was The X-Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I received this ARC in exchange for an honest review via NetGalley. This was my first book by this author. This is also her first adult rom-com. It was amazing. This is centered around a radio show called The X-Talk, where these two people who are kind of like work enemies fabricate this show where they're exes and they talk about their relationship, their fake relationship. I highly recommend picking this one up. I was obsessed with it. It was so good. I loved it so much. Rachel Lynn Solomon is definitely an author I want to keep my eye on, and I want to check out her debut YA book that came out last year as well. Just amazing. Definitely check this one out. Next, I read Dating You, Hating You by Christina Lauren. This one is complicated. I thought this was enemies to lovers, and yes, it kind of is. What it really is it's friends to lovers to enemies to lovers. That's the best way I can explain it. I really enjoyed the romance in this and the hijinks that ensued. I don't really know how to explain it, but I would check this one out. It's pretty good. And the last one that I completed was Bernie Sanders' Guide to a Political Revolution by Bernie Sanders. This is his book that is both about political issues and social justice issues, but it's marketed to the YA age group. I've had my eye on this since it came out about 3 years ago, and I thought it was really informative. There's a lot of graphics in there, and there's a lot of facts to go along with them. So I think it's really interesting, and I do think it is good for a younger age group to understand what's happening in the world. So that was the last one I completed. I want to talk about the 2 books that I'm currently reading that will be completed before the end of January. So this first one, I have no choice but to finish it. It is Goddess in the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson. This is just the dust jacket. This is the January book club pick, and our live show is tomorrow on Sunday, so I have to finish it before the end of the month. I won't say too much because I'm not done with it yet, but this is rough. Like, I'm not having a good time with it. And the other book I'm reading to complete before the end of the month is Love in English by Maria E. Andrew. I'm not going to be bummed if I don't finish it before the end of the month. What I really want to finish it by is its release date. It comes out on February 2nd. That's this coming Tuesday. So I want to make sure that I get it done before it's released. This is another book that I won in that Epic Reads giveaway. So this wasn't even on my radar before that package arrived. So that is everything that I read in the month of January. That's everything that I'm currently reading. And that's all I have to talk to you all about today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you like what you see here, please go ahead and click subscribe. I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, so click subscribe so you can be updated for when I post those. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! In the darkness, I don't feel so cold.